3 things you can do to bring out your dog's natural retrieving drive. Welcome to Cornerstone Gundog Academy, where you can learn to train your retriever with our online videos. Whether your puppy is 7 weeks old or 7 months old, somewhere along the line, you could possibly run into a period of their life where they just don't seem that interested in retrieving. Now, if you do run into that, it can make you feel a little nervous, or you can be fretting a bit because you're thinking, my goodness, I have a retriever, but it's not interested in retrieving. Well, don't sweat it. There's some things that you can do. And I'm going to share with you 3 very important things that you can do that's going to make all the difference. Now, the first thing is just have fun and worry less. So really, especially in the early period of your dog's life, from 7 weeks to 6, 7 months old, somewhere in there, they're excited about everything in life. So one day they may be very excited about retrieving, and then the next they may be more excited about the leaf that's blowing through the yard. You just never know what it's going to be like in that early period of life, and that's mainly because the dog is developing. They're learning about all the new experiences in life. And so what I want you to keep in mind is your dog's perspective versus your perspective at the early stages. Because your perspective, you've seen all of that before. You've seen a leaf blow through the yard. You've seen different things. You've been around different things. But your puppy, it's still very new to life. It hasn't seen all those things. Therefore, in your pup's mind, it's excited and it loses focus easy. Where you're probably thinking about all of the exciting moments you're going to be having with your dog, but it's got to start somewhere, right? So you start retrieving and you start trying to build out your dog's drive, and you start trying to build out the foundation of the retrieve. Make sure that you and your dog get on the same page. And if your dog loses focus, don't sweat it. Have fun, worry less. When you're out there and you're working with your dog, if they lose focus, take it easy and trust me, it's eventually going to get better, especially if your dog has that drive naturally within them, which if you have a great retriever, especially with great bloodlines, that natural drive is going to be within. It's all about unlocking it. Now, the second thing that you can do to help unlock that drive is actually going to sound a little counterintuitive, and it's limit the retrieves. Now, I know that sounds a little crazy. You're probably thinking, well, maybe I should actually be retrieving more so that maybe they'll like it more, but that's actually not the case. You can actually limit the retrieves or leave your dog hungry for more. The idea is every time you go out, you want your dog to be desiring to do more retrieves, but cut it off a little bit early so that when you do leave, the dog is eager to do more retrieves. A big mistake a lot of people make is they go out and they retrieve until the pup quits. And if you retrieve until your puppy quits, you're teaching your dog that it can quit whenever it wants to. On the contrary, if you don't do that and you always leave your dog hungry for more, you're leaving your dog in a position to where it is going to keep retrieving in the future every single time you go out. So limit the retrieves very much. It's going to make a big difference for you. And I would say, keep the retrieving short. I know we've talked about it in another posts before, but you're probably looking at 3 to 4 retrieves a day. You're not looking at a lot, especially early on, until your pup develops and gets to the point to where you can really train it. And now the third thing you can do is controlled breaking. Now, this is one thing you do not want to do too much. And remember the second point here, which was limiting retrieves. This is going to play a big factor here, but you really want to do this just enough to kind of awaken their desire. But a controlled break is basically where you allow your pup to retrieve without you giving it a release command. When we're hunting in the field in the future, we want our dogs to release only on command. Therefore, they do not go unless we tell them to. But early on, you may throw something for your puppy, and you may notice that its eyes don't even really follow what you're throwing, or it may look at it and then it may wander off. But you can use a tennis ball as a tool that's going to help awake that very primitive desire that's within. A puppy that's a retriever has an innate desire to chase and subdue prey. Therefore, in the field, if a bird is running from it, maybe a down bird, that natural desire is to go get that bird. So you can take a tennis ball and you can roll it. And what it's going to do is, instead of just throwing a bumper or something that's going to stay still when it hits, you can throw a tennis ball that's going to keep rolling, and that's going to start to awaken that desire. It's just a natural thing. The pup's going to want to chase after that tennis ball. So again, you want to limit that, but you can do just enough to kind of get that desire going. Let them run, don't hold them steady, and let them go after that tennis ball. Now remember, I want to stress this, don't do this too much. Otherwise, in the future, if you do this too much, you're going to have a dog that will not sit steady, and it's going to be a pain to fix. The key is do it just enough to awaken that desire. Once that desire is starting to awaken and the pup is getting excited, you can then start to taper that back and then make your dog be steady, and teach it to go on that release command. This is 3 tips that you can do right away that's gonna start improving your dog's natural retrieving drive. Take it to heart, get out there, make it happen, and build from here.